Hey y'all, welcome back to Wonderfully Me. Yes. So, today I am wearing one of my traditional um, dresses from Tanzania, or as we say in the US, Tanzania. Um, it is very, I would say, modest. It's long, it's to the floor, and shoulders are covered, obviously, knees are covered, and that's very typical for the way that women will dress. And if they have on something that's like form fitting, they'll typically have another piece that wraps around, which I do as well. I have a matching piece that goes with the dress, and I usually wrap it around at the waist to give more coverage, especially because some of the fabrics, like this one, is very thin. And so I guess in the sunlight, it would be see through. So, yeah, so you'll have that to wrap around the waist, or you can wear it as a shawl or even a headscarf if you like. You can cover your head with it. So, there's a variety of uses for it. I have become very accustomed to wearing it. I have, I would love to say, adopted a more pole pole lifestyle, which is like slow, slow. And it works for me. I think as a person who is living with a chronic illness and from day to day doesn't know how things are going to be going for me, it makes a lot of sense for me to have this sort of pole pole lifestyle. And it is freedom. It is a freedom that I enjoy, being able to live this lifestyle when I'm there, or and try to translate it to life when I'm in the US. And I mean, it is challenging because everything, and especially where I live, is, everything's just fast, fast paced. And people are doing the most. Where, you know, people there might spend the day doing a lot of things. Don't get me wrong, because they're doing laundry by hand, and like most breads and, dishes are, made from scratch. There isn't a whole lot of processed anything. You'd be hard pressed to find a can of something in a typical Tanzanian's cupboard. You won't find, I mean, you will find the use of like white bread some places, but typically they're making chapati or something else, ugali or something to go with their meals. And they're not really, doing the whole process thing. So I know that when I'm there, I'm eating much more healthy. I'm eating organic without having to pay an organic price like here. It's just the norm. Like, farmers just are not using all those chemicals in their garden. They're, you know, utilizing the nutrients that are already in the soil, and they are just growing stuff. You know what I mean? They're growing stuff. So it's very different. But yeah, I feel very comfortable in my TZ type dress. And when I'm there, it's usually what I'm wearing. I would say 90% of the time. If I'm going somewhere in town, I tend to wear my jeans or, capris or something like that, just because that's how I would wear what I would wear if I was going out normally anywhere. I'm a jeans and sneakers kind of chick, that's what I like. So that's what I wear. But when I'm, especially if I'm in, the house or around the compound or something, I am wearing the typical TZ dress. For one thing, I think it's really comfortable and cool. And I just, as I said, I believe that the pole pole lifestyle just suits me. It suits me well. So that is kind of how I do. And, and I love it. And you can find so many different designs, and they are pocket friendly. I'll say that they are pocket friendly. I feel like it is one of the ways that I am able to enmesh myself in the culture, right? because food is one way that you can do it. Language is another way you can do it. Style of dress. So I know that a lot of women may be way more into, tighter fitting clothes, shorter clothes, and something that might be more revealing. And just typically, especially in a village, maybe in like big cities, you'll see more of that. But in the village, you don't really see that. And so, it's just in a way of being respectful to community and to myself. I like it, so I wear it. I don't have any problem with it. Now, some people might. I know I've seen foreigners, in like really, really short shorts and crop tops, midriff bearing crop tops and such. And whatever works for you, whatever works for you. I'm not trying to tell anybody how they should dress. I do think that, especially if you're going to stay someplace long term, it would kind of like behoove you to pay attention to the cultural norms. Pay attention. Now, when I say cultural norms, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about, just being submissive to any old person and, forgetting who you are, or any way that might subjugate like a woman, especially. Like, I'm definitely not for that. What I wear is by my own choice and my own, liking. So if I didn't like it, I wouldn't wear it, period, point blank. So that is the thing. But as I speak about poly lifestyle and, TZ and such, it just, I'm reminded that I miss it. I miss it immensely. I miss it immensely. I love to travel, and that is my number one goal, right? To travel as much as I can, go to new places, see new things, and have these new activities. But in my mind, I would like to have places that are like home bases. Places that are home bases. Yes. I would like to have those because there are some places that I like more than others that I've been so far. So I used to always tell people like, oh, Portugal is my favorite place, and it was for a very, very long time. But as I've gotten older and my needs have changed, so have my places. And I have been fortunate enough, which I have mentioned on many occasions on this channel, I have been fortunate enough to to have been adopted by two Tanzanian daughters. Okay, they happen to be sisters, and they are obviously in TZ. So because they're in TZ, I enjoy being in TZ, and because I want to be able to spend time with them and spend time with their children, who call me Bibi, which means grandma in Swahili. Of course, I'm going to want to be in that area. So that's where I want to, spend some time, a significant amount of time. So, it would make sense that I have a soft spot in my heart and for that whole experience. So that's what I want to do. I want more of that. You know what I'm saying? I need that. I need it. I need it. I want it. I love it. It's so good to be there. And let me say this. Everybody needs a Neema. Okay? That's my oldest daughter. Everybody needs a Neema. Neema is a local person who is trustworthy. When I tell you that she takes care of everything that I could possibly want or need, she makes it happen. And I'm so grateful for that. So I know that my experiences being NTZ long term are very different than what some others might experience. I know that. People talk about, oh, I got cheated. Oh, they did this to me. They treated me like a Mzungu. And Mzungu, the origins of that word is like a Bantu word, that basically meant like a wanderer, an aimless wanderer. So in under normal circumstances, I would be like, yes, I'm a Mzungu. But when I get there, if somebody calls me Mzungu, I am offended. I am offended. You might as well have called me, the B word with a couple of, F's on top. Boom, 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 like shots fired. And like somebody say Mzungu, I'm like, what? I'm not a Mzungu. I got into a whole thing with someone at the market for calling me a Mzungu. And then they said, well, what are you? So the Bantu word meant like wanderer, an aimless wanderer or whatever. But the typical meaning today of a Mzungu is a white person. That's a typical meaning. Even though they can use it to say foreigner, because a lot of people say, oh no, it just means foreigner. Yeah, I know that when they calling you, Mzungu, they are saying it, but not in a loving like way. It's like, you're not one of us. They're pointing you out and saying you're not one of us. And obviously when I go there, that is not my goal to not be one of them. I mean, I am myself, but I am a person who is grateful for the opportunity to experience life in TZ. So I don't want to be seen as a Mzungu. I don't want to pay Mzungu prices. I'm not running around and saying things like, oh, they're not civilized. They have a primitive existence. I've heard, white foreigners refer to, Africa as, third world and all that kind of stuff, So most people don't even know what third world means. I'm not even going to get into it today, but look it up. Google it. What does third world mean? It doesn't really mean what people think it means. Are they a developing nation? Absolutely. But what country isn't getting better or shouldn't be getting better, shouldn't be developing, shouldn't be in the process of evolution, right? So some are further along the road than others, and most of that is because of imperialism, colonialism, slavery. The list goes on. Okay, so negative things that have allowed them to have capitalistic gains, and I digress. I do that sometimes. But my point is, everybody needs a Neema. So she don't even know I'm doing this, but I'm going to tell you this. If you are a person who wants to move to the Arusha region of TZ, I'm telling you, hear me now, believe me later, you're going to want to have a Neema in your life. There are a lot of expats who are offering relocation services and this, and that, okay? And don't get me wrong, my Neema is very busy because she has a husband and 3 children and a business of her own. Well, several businesses, because she's a farmer and entrepreneur. She's just everything. And she runs her own NGO. If you are interested in getting a real taste of life in TZ, I'm not talking about trying to transplant your American or UK lifestyle or Canadian lifestyle in TZ, but you want to see what real life in the village is like, then Neema is the person you want to talk to, because Neema is a person who's going to advocate for you so that you don't get overcharged for anything, and help you if you run into some difficulties. Because what I want to tell you is that if you go there, the number one thing that you need to know is how to practice patience. And I'm not the most patient person. I already come from a very, very fast-paced country. And then add to that, I'm in one of the fastest places in that place. That's my experience. So it's very difficult for me to slow down, but I'm here to tell you that she is patient and kind, and she understands, and she has a good heart. Okay. Now, me having said that, don't try to run all over her, nothing like that. That's not happening, because you will get the Brooklyn beat down. Okay. I'm that, yeah, I'm that person. But what I'm saying is, if you genuinely want to know what that experience can be like to relocate to a place like that, or, stay there part-time or whatever the case is. If you really want to have a genuine experience, she can help you to have that. Okay. If you're interested, drop something in the comments and I will put my email there as well. And you can contact me or contact her. I'll figure it out how I'm going to work it out. But my point is, if indeed you're interested in that, let me know, because poly isn't for everybody. Poly is not for everybody. Can I say it to the people in the back row? Poly is not for everybody. Okay? Hear me now, believe me later. It is difficult. It's difficult to I don't want to say do nothing, but it's difficult to slow down. It's difficult to do a different thing. This is the reason why we have so much problem with change. Okay? So, only for the people who are truly, truly serious, then you can contact me. If you're not, keep it moving. Just keep it moving, okay? That's all I got to say about that. Okay? Everybody needs a Neema in their life. I've been told everybody needs a Robin in their life too. That would be me. But I believe everybody needs a Neema in their life if they are planning to transition from where they've been to where they're trying to go, and that happens to be TZ. Then I'm just saying, we can work something out. That's all I'm saying. But you got to be able to manage. You got to be able to maintain. Now, am I asking you to use a squat toilet? This place is where you might have to. I'm just saying, not saying where you want to live like full time. Me personally, I can't do it. I can't. I have to have a Western toilet situation wherever I am. That's number one. You got to be able to get used to the lights going out. You got to be able to get used to sometimes your water tank being empty. Stuff happens. How do you work around that? And yeah, so for the workarounds, a person like Neema is really, really helpful. Okay, so anywho, whatever it is that you're looking for, it can be accomplished. So I'm just saying that poly, if poly is for you, something that you're interested in learning more about, let me know. Okay. Anyhow, let me say, because I didn't say it in the beginning, if you are a returning person to my channel, I say thank you. I say thank you because I recognize that your time is one of the most valuable commodities that you will ever have. I don't know. I dare say the most important. But, the fact that you are willing to spend some of it with me is everything, okay? It means the world to me that I get to share my world with you. It means that I have an opportunity to talk to you about the experiences I've had traveling, things that I want to do in the future, and also how I navigate this thing called life, having fibromyalgia. And it is a challenge on a daily basis. But, somehow, through the grace, the universe has granted me the opportunity to have good days, that where I'm able to do some things and keep it moving. So, I thank you for returning. If it's your first time, I'm grateful that you're here, and I hope that you will come back because you will become one of my faves, and we know we love that. So, that raggedy tail man, Mr. Algorithm, will not push my stuff forward. So I need you to help a sister out. I need you to be the one to like, comment, share, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe. That's right. Subscribe. Okay, so we can keep this train rolling along. Okay, because the goal for me is to be able to get back there sooner rather than later, and you can be instrumental in making that happen for me. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So anyway, I just want to say thank you, and hopefully I'm gonna see you again real soon. This is the plan. All right, yes. I'm gonna say ciao for now, but before I do, I gotta say the regular: do good and be good. Do good and be better. Do good in a way that benefits you and others, and be better. Be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday, and be an even greater version of yourself tomorrow. Tomorrow, be better tomorrow. It's only one day away. Yes, I like to break out in songs sometimes, so sue me. Okay. Anyway, ciao for now.